doing? Jaye from Stay Flat Media 7. I just wanted to do a little quick video about myself and how I became to believe where we live is where we live, which is a flat stationary plane Earth. Everything started with September 11th for me, and I was really deep, heavy into that, and you know, I at first didn't want to know how it happened or what happened or anything. I didn't know anything until stuff started to come up, hoax, and you know, it happened this way, it happened that way, and I started to look into stuff like, you know, who's lying and why are they lying, because those buildings meant a lot to me. I was one of those buildings as a freaking toddler, you know, and later in life I ended up working in both buildings and underneath in the mall. So those buildings meant a lot to me. So I was, you know, of course, you know, congratulating Bush to go get whoever done it. You know what I mean? I took my hat off to that, and later come to find out, after you start looking into stuff and start hearing things, and you know, people whispering in your ear, you know, this happened this way again, and this happened that way again, like I said, and then I realized he was standing on top of the World Trade Center making that speech that we're gonna go get whoever done this, and you know, he was standing on top of the rubble, and at that time I was hearing that he had something to do with it, or his father did, you know, and it was already planned back in 1993 and all that stuff. But that's how I started, and I got all into it, and it just got crazy when they said a flying disc went into the second tower, and that's why it's shaped like that, the impact. And that's when I laughed. I'm like, I can't keep up with this stuff. But yeah, moving on to shooting, hoax, and crisis actors and everything. And yeah, I was watching something from Brother Sanchez channel, and he pointed out, I mean, he just said it, you know, he said something about flat Earth, and it just brought back, you know, it's probably the wrong way to say it, forgotten memories. When I was younger, I used to always wonder why and how things are the way they are, you know, and when I would draw a picture of something, if I would draw a house on the paper, as a child, you always draw the foundation first. Some people say that they draw the house. I don't know how. I mean, the house would be floating in the air, but you always draw that line across the whole bottom of the paper, or you draw the house at the bottom of the paper. And you put the sun up in the corner. You put the little bird, look like an M, like a McDonald's M. I mean, the bird is flying and all that, and the clouds. But first, you build that foundation, and the foundation is never curved. You just don't get that, because even though you were taught as a child to look at the globe and this is where you live, whenever you drew something on top of ground, it was always flat, because that's what you experienced, that's what you saw. So you grow up thinking that, and unconsciously, you know, but you're being told you live on a ball, so you live on a ball, but you're walking on flat plane wherever you go. You're swimming in flat water wherever you go, you know. And So when Brother Sanchez was talking about, you know, cosmology and, you know, stuff, our ancestors, and, you know, I was watching one of his long videos, you know. I think it was like 3 or 4 parts to it. I forget the name. But you need to go check him out, you know, if you want to know how all this started. You know, he has a lot of good pointers, you know. So he just mentioned flat earth and something, and I paused it, stopped, and I started looking into flat earth, and it took off from there. You know, then I clicked on D Marble's page. You know, I really like his work, and you know, he inspired me a lot. You know, then you have Jaren and Eric Dubay and ODDT.V, and I just kept being filled with knowledge, and I'm talking to my co-workers about it, and my boy Matt, you know, Bunker don't want to hear it, but you know, rest of my co-workers, I just yell it out throughout the house, you know, stay flat, this and all that. But yeah, you know, talk to Matt, and he's like, you know, you can't take these guys' words for it, you know, you got to go do stuff yourself. And you know, I'm like, all right, go get this camera, and here we go. Like I said in my other video, and here we are. So I started doing stuff, you know, taking shots of the moon, the stars, and everything, and then comparing it to the knowledge that we supposedly have on the internet of how far these things are supposed to be, and the distance that an 83 time zoom can go. And then, of course, you have your people fighting you, your globe believers fighting you, and, you know, so I went through all that, you know, and I spoke to Daryl about it on his page, Daryl Marble, and, like, I forgot what he said, but, you know, like, you know, they're going to do what they do, basically, so we just got to keep up the fight, and, it shouldn't even be a fight, you know. I mean, thoughts come to my head randomly. I'm just so into this automatically. Like I didn't have to study much because you were there as a child, you know, and you know, you just waking your mind back up. And that's what the awakening could be, or it could be something else. But once you have an awakening within yourself, you see everything differently than what they're feeding you, you know, on media, TV, and all that stuff. So, yeah, that's kind of how I came about, and I just opened up this channel maybe just under a month ago, and, you know I put out a lot of crazy videos, and you know, I'm just really excited. You know, when I first got on the YouTube, I'm like, you know, let me see how this works, because I'm not doing a whole bunch of overtime to make a video, you know what I mean? So I did something like a couple of videos of the moon and stuff like that, you know, and I posted it just to see if it will post, and it did. And I said, oh snap. So I just went crazy. And my creative mind from, what, 20 years ago, you know, I used to be on computers and do a little work, you know. I recorded a couple of songs with a good friend of mine back, you know, in 93. I'm showing my age now, but, you know, 48, but I look, what, 72, yeah. But, you know, you start to remember the things that you grew up with, and it just comes to you easily, and here I am, and I can't stop, because this is what it is. And has me reading the Bible a lot more. I would normally just go, you know, I mean, I read the Bible growing up as a kid, going to church and being an altar boy and everything, and you know, but stuff just don't add up, you know. Does God want money? I don't know. All those things you start to ask, I don't have the answer for that. I'm not asking the question. I'm just saying the things that was going through my head. And I used to just go to the internet and say, what does God say about A, B, C, D, E, F, G, yada, yada, yada. And it'll pull up because someone said something about that subject. So I would say, okay, what does God say about that subject? Is it in the Bible? Because that's all you really want to go by, basic instructions before leaving Earth, And you would say that book's been around for so long, and you would think that they would alterate it, but they can't. So the first page of how the earth is made is right there. I know they took out the book of Enoch because that says a lot about what we're going through now and what we have been going through for the past several years came to light. But if you read the book of Enoch, you would know that before it happened and while it was happening. And you see things depicted in movies that's in the book of Enoch. The book of Jubilees I am still looking into currently. And first page of the Bible is everything. And then it goes out throughout the Bible about how the earth is stationary. It shall not be moved, and goes from there. So we go back to there, and I had one of my coworkers talk about, what's the end game? What's the end game? The end game has to start back over. Once you know where you're at, once you know how you're living, then you make the rules. And they said, we are the government. Not now. But once you know where you're at and the power you have, you get to make the demands. You don't vote for one person to make demands and then vote for a Congress to make demands for you. They don't know you. You're just a number. So that's the end game, my man. Is you making the demands that you want in your life as a people. And that's for everyone. But they got you thinking that you are worthless, a speck of sand on a beach, because the galaxy is that big, that of a beach, and you are one grain sand of an earth on the beach. You mean nothing. Listen to us. Vote for me. What the hell they do with their fingers? Vote for me, and I'll make sure you get the new Chrome Xbox. Fuck out of here, man. Okay? Know where you're from, and take it from there. Live your life from there. You don't have to do anything as far as political ever again. You just vote from there and you go with what your heart tells you. Or you stay conformed to, oh well, I'm at this age, I might as well just deal with it. It's totally up to you. I'm not causing no revolution, no anything. I'm just trying to work with the logical mind, because I can't keep all this to myself. Just be logical in the things you believe in and do. And you do every day. Like walk on a flat plane, for miles. Thank you. I just wanted to send this out as a little expression of who I am. My name is Jason. I like to call myself Jaye, with an E and an accent at the end. And have fun, love one another as God does you, and stay flat.
That stuff is flat. That stuff is flat. That stuff is flat.